Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Commissar, again recovering from surgery, and I am back for game number 2 of this best of 3 series between Grubby and Deathangel. Today's map is Ohana. Ohana Beach, of course. Ohana meaning family, apparently. And it's a very popular map. Everybody seems to like it. Well, rather, everybody seems to kind of dislike it, but at the same time, everybody agrees that it's balanced. So that's kind of cool. And today, we're going to see what? Yeah, Deathangel up 1-0 after that first game. I'm just going to apologize right now if you didn't enjoy last game's commentary. I'd attribute it simply to my recovery, and my concentration is out. I feel funny. My voice might be different. I don't know. The surgery was designed to change... Anyway, it's not important. It's to do with my breathing. But... Deathangel, of course, is going to be, yeah, one game away from winning this series, and Grubby, meanwhile, is going to have to basically pressures on him, and he's already blocking this expansion. And whoa, this is going to be a proxy gateway. It is going to be, I believe, a proxy 2 gate, and I don't like this at all from Grubby, as this is in possibly the worst spot possible, I'd say. Not really, but I'd kind of like it to be kind of hidden, as Deathangel is going to see this no matter what Grubby does. Yeah. He sees that the gateway here, and at the moment it is only one gateway. I don't see a second gateway. Normally proxy gates are proxy 2 gates. This is a proxy 1 gate, and it is going to force a pull out of Deathangel, but what is Deathangel doing? He's not even reacting to this. He appears to not be watching or something. You can see Deathangel now makes the pull, but he didn't actually look down when the Overlord saw it. Oh my god, what a blunder from Deathangel. His Overlord flew over the gateway, and he didn't realize it was there. And now we're going to see Zealots in the base of Deathangel before he has a spawning pull up, and Grubby cheesing to what could be a swift victory in this game. Meanwhile, on the base of Grubby, we see nothing having been built back at home, except for one pylon, which could be maybe to make a forge and wall off up here. We'll have to wait and see. I assume that'll eventually happen. But meanwhile, of course, we have Zealot with no defenses at all. It is going to be Zealot versus drones here, and it's going to be a pretty hard fight for Deathangel to go without losing anything in. We're going to see 3 drones going down to this one Zealot who's already paid for himself, and oh, getting a 4th as well. That looked like he had gotten away, but apparently the 4th did not, and a second Zealot is going to be fighting against drones only. And Grubby, I don't know why he's delaying here, as the Lings are on the way. I really, seriously do not know why he's delaying there, as really, if he could get 4 more drones at this stage, it would be amazing for him. As killing off, say, if he'd kill off 8 drones in that stage, he'd be so far ahead. At this stage, 19 to 11 harvesters, he is a long way ahead regardless. But oh my god, there is a proxy hatch. And this proxy hatch is a pretty classic response to any sort of cheese from a Protoss player. It was, of course, usually accompanied with a Roach Warren, but of course, it's going to be hard for Deathangel to afford that. He is getting gas, he's trying to get up to that Roach stage, but I'll have to wait and see if he gets there or not very comfortably. We are going to see 3 Zealots out here, and they should hold against these Zealots. So the big thing is the Queen, and the question is, can Grubby actually hold onto his gateway out here? As if he loses that, if he loses his aggression, and he has to deal with the proxy hatch with nothing going for him aggressively, he will be in trouble, but oh my god, he's killing up all of these Lings so easily. We're going to see this Queen eventually clean up, I believe. But at what cost? At what cost, indeed? Lings are being produced constantly. Not a single drone has been produced for ages by Deathangel. Meanwhile, drones have been constantly produced, rather, probes have been constantly produced by Grubby. And Grubby has cannons up to deal with this. Oh my god, I think Grubby is going to win here. And meanwhile, we do indeed see the Zealots coming out. Even more so. It's going to, even more at a time, rather. Not even that. Anyway, the pylon is going to go down here. And this gateway will get 1 more Zealot, but so what? It's going to die straight away after getting, what, 1, 2, 3 kills. Not going to pay for itself. This gateway is going to go down. Going to have to force cancel on that Zealot. And meanwhile, this proxy hatch is also going to go down, which basically leaves you in a situation where you have one player with 24 harvesters who should be behind in harvesters, and the player who's normally ahead being on 13. Basically, for lack of a better word, Deathangel looks to be pretty stuffed at this point. And I'll have to wait and see what he can do to come back from this. Basically, 9 out of 10 times it'll be an all-in. 9 out of 10 times that all-in's going to involve roaches, and it's probably going to yeah, probably just going to be a Roach all in, I'd say, out of Deathangel. He's expanding to his natural expansion, which I suppose makes sense. You can't do anything off one base as a Zug player, really. Meanwhile, the defense of Grubby, 3 cannons. I don't even know why these Lings are moving out, as Deathangel knows there are 3 cannons here, and these Lings will never get past those cannons. Even if they had speed and went for a run-by, half of them would die even trying to get into the main base, at least half of them. And meanwhile, Grubby has a cannon in the actual main base for himself to defend his probes while they mine, and there is even a Robo on the way for Grubby. Surprised he's going straight for Robo, maybe to get, I'm assuming he's getting Immortals, because he's afraid of a Roach all in. Really, he could get anything, I suppose, at this stage, and it would probably work. Mass Gateway would probably work at this stage, but why not get a Robo, I suppose? He gets tech, it's going to help him out in a later game, in case Deathangel isn't as dead as he thinks he is. Regardless, the harvest count is still 28 to 18, still 10 in favor for Grubby, and the expansion for Grubby is on the way. It's going to be only a tiny bit behind the expansion of Deathangel. And even though there are, there's only 1 Queen for Deathangel too, so Deathangel has very little going for him at this stage. He can't afford much either. He's saving, I believe, for a wave of Roaches or something, although he doesn't even have a Roach Warren, so that doesn't make sense. I don't know what he's going to go for here, but it's going to be, it appears, drones. So, going for drones at this stage, I feel like is kind of dumb for Deathangel to do. I'm saying this because, well, he's probably dead no matter what he does, to be honest. But, trying to keep up on macro with a player who's got basically 10 harvests from ahead of you from the very start is almost an impossible feat. Zug can macro up, yes, and if somehow Grubby doesn't kill Deathangel in the near future, then Deathangel can maybe survive, yes. But I feel like 9 out of 10 times you're just going to be out macroed and killed, regardless of what you do, if you go in for the long haul. The problem, of course, with Deathangel being that with those 3 cannons there, he probably didn't have much choice, as unless he went for a Nidus all-in, he couldn't have killed his opponent, and a Nidus all-in is pretty easy to counter. Okay, so indeed we do see Grubby with cannons and sentries as his only defense at this stage. Going for Immortals, we'll have to wait and see if he goes for some sort of Warp Prism play. That would be pretty cool at this stage. At the moment, just going to go heavy into Immortals and Sentries, hard counter to Roaches, and I'll have to wait and see if Mutas come out, as Mutas, of course, are really, really good against Immortal Sentry, as we saw in game number 1. And potentially Mutas could be the way out for Deathangel. I say that just because it counters the build of Grubby, and Grubby has a very, very small anti-air force. And Warp Prisms also conveniently die to Mutalisks as well. All of that said and done, all of that positive talk for Deathangel about Mutas, Grubby has 5 gateways on the way. Grubby has a 6th gate as well, I believe, at the front. Yes, he does. It's going to be 6 gates with Sentry, Immortal, and Warp Prism. So in reality, even with the Spire on the way, even with the Mutas coming out, we're probably going to have more Stalkers than Mutas, as well as Immortals and Sentries, which will have no answer to them, apart from the Mutas. So it looks like it's going to be basically a little bit of a futile attempt of Deathangel to try and get into this game. He does see the Sentry Immortal Force, he does see a Warp Prism on the way. What he doesn't see though is the number of gateways waiting to reinforce here. 2 of them aren't actually Warp Gates yet, which is a little bit surprising from Grubby. But the moment a wave of Stalkers comes in here, this army will be almost unstoppable from the perspective of Deathangel. But there are not Stalkers on the way at the moment, only Zealots. And 1 Stalker. At this stage, if the Mutas came out, which they're not coming out yet because the Spire's only just finished, they could do a lot of damage here, but 9 are now on the way, at almost going to be 10, I believe. Yeah, 10 are now on the way. And 10 Mutas could kill this army right now if they were out on the field right now, but they're not, so it could be close here. Despite although it's going to die in a matter of seconds, it is going to be a very quick cleanup here for Grubby. And it's just going to be a matter of those Mutalisks. And will the reinforcements come in? Yes, they will, but a wave of Zealots is not going to help out Grubby in this stage of the game. I can see the Sentries being targeted down by these Mutas. There are quite a lot of them, and we're going to see the Stalker also going to fall straight away. If the Warp Prism goes down, that could be huge for Deathangel. He is indeed going to go after it. No, he's not. He is going to, yep, he's going to go for a warp in here of Stalkers. These Stalkers, though, are not enough to take out this number of Mutalisks, and there are Zealots in here too, sorry, Lings rather, focusing down at those Stalkers, and oh my god, the Warp Prism is going to die with a Stalker inside of it, and Deathangel making a miraculous hold, although in saying that, he's lost his natural, And oh my god, I think his main base is gonna die as well here. The hatchery is it's gonna be close here, but I feel like the hatchery is going to die, and no, it's not gonna die. Oh, that is a relief if your name is Deathangel at this stage in the game, as Deathangel is now ahead in supply. Taking a third base. Oh, that is a well-hidden third base at the 4th of Grubby. A very well-hidden base. That is really, really interesting, and if Grubby sees it, it'll be impossible for Deathangel to hold. But if he doesn't see it, this will be awesome for Deathangel. And now we have a game on our hands, as Deathangel is going to go up to 2 bases in a sec. He's behind in economy, so every second he wastes, every second he takes through anything is a second that he falls further behind in. And he's going to kill these 2 zealots, which is going to help him, 3 zealots rather. The question is, can he do some damages? He has a big Mutaflock up now. He has what? Over 16 meters now with the reinforcements coming in. 16 exactly, with a 17th on the way. And we do indeed see at the front, we do have +1 armor, +1 attack already done for Grubby. And Grubby has Blink on the way. Blink could be what wins Grubby this game, but I actually have no idea what Deathangel is doing at this stage. He is splitting up his mutas when really he needs to do some damage here. I mean, sure, he might not be able to get the damage done, but what? The main's well defended, really well defended. The natural, though, mutas could slip in here and kill some probes, I feel. And by not going in straight away, Deathangel is really shooting himself in the foot, I feel. He did scout the entire map, though, to see if there are any attacks in the way, and oh, he's going to get the cancels off here, doing a little bit of damage with the mutas, but he is scared of attacking in here. He thinks the defenses are too strong, but he hasn't even seen the lack of cannons at the back here. So look as though realistically we'll probably fill that gap in a second or two. And now with Blink just about done, I feel like Deathangel has missed his window to do damage in, and was basically in a position where he's playing really far behind, and oh my god, he just led his opponent into his base. Grubby sees creep here, and the second he reacts to that, he will be so far ahead. We're going to see Blink in here, going to get 0 mutas, so it's going to be okay for Deathangel at this stage in terms of his muta count. But what else does Deathangel have? He has nothing but drones, and he has less drones than his opponent has probes. So really, while the mutas and stalker counts are even at this stage, oh, this could be a base trade. We're going to see stalkers going into the natural base of Deathangel. Meanwhile, over up the top, we do need the mutas going into the main of Grubby, going to kill pylons first. And meanwhile, the blinking is going to happen here. The spire going down first. Oh, there's a huge pickup by Deathangel. Sorry, by Grubby rather. Deathangel meanwhile going to kill off these cannons so easily, going to basically tear apart the main base. And the problem now for Grubby, sorry, for Deathangel, is that mutas are pretty bad at base trades compared to stalkers. Stalkers are pretty much as mobile and have higher damage against buildings, I believe. I'm pretty sure that's better at it. As you'll see, the main base already down for Deathangel. Meanwhile, for Grubby. Meanwhile, Deathangel is having a hard time actually killing off this base of his opponent. It appears that Grubby may hold his natural, and Deathangel has no bases left. He has the one base over here, which has been scouted by his opponent, though, and realistically, he cannot hold that against this number of stalkers. The units count does indeed show 25 stalkers against, what, 13, 12 now mutas? And this Blink stalkers, this Blink micro, is going to be the death of Deathangel here, as even this small number of stalkers is doing pretty well against the big flock of mutas. And this big flock of mutas is suddenly a small flock of mutas. And suddenly Deathangel is completely stuffed. And like I said from the start, chances are whatever he does is going to lose. He ended up having a good punt at it, but well and truly the game is over at this stage, and I'm not going to have any problems calling that. Okay, Deathangel is trying to still go for the base race here. It's a little bit of a lost cause at this stage, I'd have to say. He's trying to build up some sort of defense, maybe going to spine crawler up, but it's already too late for that. As we see the stalkers inside the base of Deathangel, he already saw it because he was already shown it earlier by... Deathangel showed Grubby it earlier. And yeah, Grubby is going to lose the space, no problems, and there's going to be the end of the game. Oh, Deathangel should have left the game by now. And I feel this is a little bit bad-mannered, actually, to stay in this game for this long. It's worse than Marine King Prime. Marine King Prime has a reputation for staying in games for way too long. Deathangel, I believe, trumped that. Although there's the GG from Deathangel, finally. And that is game number 2, going into the favour of Grubby. So it is going to be a ace match in this best of 3 series between Deathangel and Grubby. Grubby, of course, is currently in a pretty good spot, I'd have to say. as he is widely regarded as the better and more popular player, and he is now on even terms with his opponent. But one game, anything can happen. The only non-cheesy game, I believe, went in the favour of Deathangel. So anyway, both players doing a pretty decent job so far, and Game BO3 is right around the corner. So thanks for watching today.